Hey, it's Julia Williams with Wealth and Reach on Thursday at 7. Come on in, come join us today. We have an amazing guest today, and we are looking forward to educating, getting people knowledge that we have lacked, but now we're no longer lacking. So we're going to just come and educate today on the $1 million baby. I know we talked about it a little bit last week, but this week we're going to educate on it. So grab your pens, grab your pads. I'm excited about this. I'm excited to have this shared with us. It's such an amazing wealth of information and it's within reach. So that's what we are, Wealth and Reach on Thursdays at 7. So tag, share, bring them in. Let's get this education tonight. I have an amazing guest, Kimberly Williams. She is my director through OIC. She's a great financial expert when it comes to these things. I can't wait for you to meet her. Please ask your questions. What you don't know, ask. What you want to know, ask. Don't be afraid. But tonight we're talking about the $1 million baby. So let's get this started. Let's get Kimberly Williams here. We're going to bring her on in. We're going to get her to introduce herself and what she does. Like I've already said, she's amazing. She's my director. So I look forward to you guys getting what she has given out to her team. And here she goes. Kimberly, how are you?
Hi, welcome, Julia, and congratulations on your new show. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for being my host. I kind of bragged about this $1 million baby last week. And I was like, oh, they want to know about what's the $1 million baby. So if I can't get them somewhere, I'm going to bring them to here. So
I love it. I love
so
it.
thank you for joining me. I'm so excited to share this information. I have been blessed to be able to gain the wealth of information for myself and my family and my kids and even my grandbabies. And I have a $1 million baby. So I'm excited. I'm excited. God has
Awesome.
taught me so much just listening. And here's my $1 million baby. He honey's baby. Yeah, he don't even know he a $1 million baby.
Not yet.
He don't know it. He don't know who he is. So thank you for teaching me. Thank you for allowing me to be educated too. And helping me with my family grow and my kids too. So I'm excited for you to share with everybody else. And from here, I'll let you go ahead and explain exactly what it is.
Wow, wow. It's always an honor to be on and to help educate our community. A little bit about myself is my name is Kimberly Williams. I do live in Houston, Texas. I am a single mom. I have three children. My oldest just turned 28. I have a 16-year-old son and a 15-year-old daughter, and I also have a grandbaby. She'll be 8 this year. So I
Yeah.
understand the importance, and we know as parents and grandparents, we want the world for our children.
Exactly.
We want them to have the best. We want them to do better than us. So by me being in this space as a financial consultant, educator, and specialist for the last 9 years, and my profession is a registered nurse of 20 years, now that we get this information, guess what we get to do, Julia? We get to pass it down, right?
Right.
And
Right.
that's what we're doing. It's each one teach one. You got the information. Now you've already set your children up, and now the
Right.
second child, and they don't even know what the love and what's going to be in the future because of just a simple decision that we made. We educated
Exactly.
ourselves, we sought out the information, we applied it, and now they're going to get to see the fruits of our labor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly.
So, yes, I love the $1 million baby plan. So, we understand there's a lot of things out there, but the main thing is we want to know how can we set our children up. We want them to have the best of the best.
Mm-hmm.
My children are spoiled, but not just buying them the material things, also setting them up for the future, making sure that we plan and making sure that we teach them as well. Because I just
Right.
day on my Wisdom Wednesday, I was like, okay, we just don't want to leave our kids cash. CASH. We want to leave them with the KASH. That's
Mm-hmm.
the knowledge, that's the attitudes, that's the skills and the habits.
Right. Right.
Because
Agreed.
if you just leave
Agreed.
them the money without that knowledge, it's going to get away from, easily. And I can relate to that. I lost both of my parents at 17 and they left me pretty well. but what I didn't have was the financial literacy. So
Right.
it wasn't the money was gone in a couple of years, because the more money we have, the more we spend. We have to change our mindset about the way money works. We have to change our mindset about saving and investing,
Mm.
because that,
So let
yeah,
me ask you this, since you said that
yeah,
mindset. I'm big on that because I know once
yeah,
the mindset changes, everything flows within.
that's it.
God, your mindset, and your faith. Everything goes along with that, especially in the financial side of the world. So
Absolutely.
for us as minorities,
Mhm.
and for sure we get scared of things like this. We get scared of conversations like this. So what do you tell people? Because I mean, it's hard to get people to come on and talk. Let's talk about the $1 million baby, and the first thing they hear is $1 million.
Yes.
They don't know where it's coming from. They just hear, oh, the $1 million baby, I want to know. But we
Yes.
don't educate ourselves to know this stuff, and we didn't know it. So it's something that we lacked. And I always say, I've seen a lot. We've had a lot growing up, but
Yes.
we lack the knowledge of being responsible financially growing up. But now that we have it, we use it. But there are still people that are still scared to step out and find
Yes.
out about this stuff. So what do you tell them? How do you gauge them? How do you get them in to just want to learn and want to know?
They have to make a conscientious decision. That's
Mhm.
what it is, because that's where I was at. I was just tired of rock bottom. After I realized that it's not the more money you make, it's actually no understanding what to do with the money that you have to have. So after many bad financial decisions, I sought out answers for myself. I said, okay,
Right.
let me educate myself. I even went back to school and said, okay, let me get my master's, my MBA. It's something that I'm missing. So it was a light bulb that went off in my head. So in our community, it's a taboo to talk about money, but we love spending it. We
Yeah.
working 40 hours a week, for 40 years to make it. But, until we learn this financial literacy piece, we're going to always be at a deficit. So we
Yeah.
have to seek out the knowledge. We have to know. And when I speak to people, I'm a non-judgmental person. Like, I share my story. I cried when I did my financial needs analysis and realized that if I was to lose my job tomorrow, we can be homeless. So I'm very transparent and honest, and I can get people to basically, come down a little,
Right,
because
right. And
those
I heard you say the financial needs analysis, and that's something that I also want you to touch on.
conversations.
Because I hear that a lot. Well, I can't afford that.
Yes,
I don't live like you. You can do that for your kids, or you can do that for your grandkids. So I definitely want you to hit on that financial need analysis as you talk about it as well, because I feel like it's something for everybody. Even
it
if
is.
you can't make them $1 million baby, you can make them wealthy,
Yes,
and they'll be okay. Like, I didn't know it, like, starting off. And my
yes,
baby, she's 10 now, and I just literally got her started. She may not be $1 million baby, but she'll be able to pay for college or buy her
absolutely.
home or something. She may not get there because I didn't know it, but I definitely want to hit that financial analysis, and how it relates to us as the parents or the godparents or the grandparents, and how we can make it sure we can fit something in our budget to do that. And I also would like you to touch on my favorite part, is that with my grandbaby, we're done paying for this policy when I think he turns 18, and
Uh-huh.
we don't pay anything else, and it's still earning.
And
So
it's growing.
that's
That.
something that's like, I want to touch that. I think, like I said, I think that's something that we lack knowledge of, and I want to make sure that we do touch that tonight. And from here, I'll let you take it on, and we'll go
You may
straight
need a
into the.
part two,
I
Julie.
know I'm gonna have to.
Part two. That's a lot. Yes. So yes, and everything
I
that you
know.
said is so important. The very first thing is to have a financial needs analysis.
Right.
Because if you have not sat down and basically said, where is my money going? In that financial needs analysis, I help clients find money they didn't even know they had. They never even sat down to do a budget. So we have to be really track where our money is going. We have to know, what is this? Do we understand how to plan a budget? There's many different ways, but we have to realize that we have to start somewhere. So
Right.
that's the first start. That financial needs analysis, that is the starting point. That's when you sit down with someone like myself or Julia, and we go over some of your financial concerns. What are some of your financial goals? What are your challenges? What
Hmm.
are what's going to be that to go factor in order to get you to move? And then we're going to help
Right.
you with the roadmap. but you have to do the work. You have to be, you have to do the work. And that's the hardest part. A lot of people said, okay, I know I need to do something different. I
Right. Yeah.
know I need to save. And, it never comes because it's like, okay, when I pay this off, I'm going to save. But guess what? Another bill or something else is going to come up. So we
Right.
just have to make that decision to say, okay, I have to do this. And that's what it takes. And we talk about that with the $1 Million Baby Plan. The beauty of it is the earlier we start for our children, we're giving them a great head start because time is on their side. Because when we talk about building wealth, and if you want to understand what the formula is, you can write it down. The wealth formula is this: it's money plus time, meaning that you may not have to have a lot of money, but
Mm-hmm.
if you have a lot of time, that's a
Right.
big advantage. Now, when you get my age, like when I started, I was 9 years in, but right now I'll be 46.
Come on,
Some of
girl. You
those
look
years has
good.
passed. I know I look like I'm, but it's still not too late. So if you're on this call and you're saying it may be too late for me, it's not. Like the best day to start is yesterday, but if yesterday's passed, today is the best day. But when we
Mm-hmm.
talk about the wealth formula, these are the components that is important to building wealth: is money plus time. And when we talk about the $1 Million Baby Plan, the earlier you start saving for your children, the much more that money will continue to compound and grow over time.
Okay.
Okay. The third thing, we got money plus time. Then we need to think about, where is our money growing? What type of environment is it in? So I'm going to share. Let's see if I can share this screen because I'm not too tech savvy. So
It's
y'all pray.
okay. We all learning. We learning. We gonna learn
Yes,
together.
we'll learn together. But just to just show, and not to, I don't want to bore with a lot of slides, but I just definitely wanted to highlight some things. Okay, let's see. What am I sharing? Okay, it says use window. I'll say entire screen. Let's try that. Okay. All right. And
And
I
you're
look
right. We definitely gonna do a part two. 'Cause it's a lot of
Yes,
stuff. Like I
it
said,
is a lot of
until you
things.
hear it, until you know it, you don't trust it. But once you know it and get educated, then it becomes like another language for us. We walk in it, we talk in it, we live in it. So knowledge is
Absolutely.
power. It's power.
Absolutely. So for the entire screen, also share system audio. It's grayed out. I can't share, so I'm not sure if that's a problem, but I'll go ahead and talk about it while I'm waiting because it's grayed out. I'm trying to share and it just shows so I'm not sure. We'll have to have some settings on there.
Okay.
But the environment your money grows in, there's three environments that your money can grow. It's a fixed environment, a
Hmm.
variable, and also an index.
Okay.
So you want to understand and learn those different buckets and see how they'll affect your wealth building. Then there's two things that's going against this. That's one is called inflation. The
Hmm.
cost of goods and services over time, that it decreases our buying power to this.
Right.
Family that was doing very well about 2, 3, 4 years ago, now they're out here looking for supplemental income. Now they're both having to get a side hustle because that big I word, and it continues to increase over time. So that's what's going against us. And also the other thing is taxes. So that's how you build wealth. So you're wondering, okay, how do you actually get to the wealth building side? It's a simple formula: money plus time, plus you need a positive rate of environment, and then you need to subtract inflation minus taxes equals wealth. So when
Mm-hmm.
we talk about the $1 Million Baby Plan, and this is a plan and this is a program and a strategy that a lot of people are unaware of. They're unaware of how this actually works. So I'm trying to see if I can share again. Let's see if I have it. Let me try it this way. Okay, I'll do it this way. We can see that.
No, we can't on this side.
Okay, let me know because it's showing I am sharing, so it may be a little lag.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Let me know when you can see it.
Not yet. But whatever you have, just share with me.
Okay,
If
absolutely.
it's
I'll
some,
share with
if
you or
it's something
whatever.
that's shareable, and we'll definitely get it out to where they
Absolutely.
can take a look at it, educate themselves about it. Because that's, I mean, that's what we want to do. We want to
That's
educate.
the
Like
goal.
that's,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the goal. So I definitely want to share whatever you have with everyone that joins or couldn't join, and that way they can get it. And then if they have questions, I definitely want to make sure they have your contact, or like you said, or mine,
Yes, absolutely.
whichever. But we
We're
gotta.
together. Yours.
I'm gonna put it
That's
all on you.
So
Put it
yes,
all on you.
but the $1 million baby plan was basically, it was a quick video I was going to show about how certain strategies can work. So being in this space, I did a lot of research about, where can I grow money, first of all, with growth, but with the safety. Because
Right.
I'm not a risk taker. I don't, I used to gamble, but I don't gamble that much. I don't like to gamble with my money, because a lot of people say, oh, you got, in order to make money, you have to invest to, you
Yeah.
can lose money. But there are different ways. If you want to look at more index strategies, like my uncle Warren Buffett, he is a huge promoter of a Standard and Poor 500 index fund.
Mm-hmm.
That's called the S&P 500 because it can give you the growth without the losses. It gives you the safety net. So when you have an index strategy, it mirrors what the market does, but it's not tied directly to it. So you
Right.
have growth, which is steady, and you average between 8 to 10%, and you don't take the losses. You have a floor of zero. So this program that we're talking about falls in that index strategy where our kids' money can go up or it levels out. It never goes down.
Right.
You're getting a steady 8%. If you don't understand what compounding
That's
interest is,
good.
you want to research that. It's the eighth wonder of the world. It is a huge financial concept that the wealthy use every single day. And it's
Mm-hmm.
basic. It says if you take 72 divided by the interest or the rate of return you're getting on your money, that's how many years it takes for your money to double. So
Right.
you got this $1 million baby so precious over there and they're zero. So they have so much time and they're getting 10%. That means every 7.2 years, their money is doubling on its own.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
So, and I'm a huge advocate because I have for all three of my children, the 28-year-old, the 16 and the 15. My grandbaby has this program. So that's why we do this workshop. It's called the $1 Million Baby Workshop, and we do it every Wednesday on Zoom. It's only 30 minutes.
Okay.
But you will learn
Okay.
so much on that
Yeah.
workshop if you're interested in it. Like if you're wanting to know, how can I save for my children's college and beyond? So I really gear it towards saving for the college, but it's
Right.
beyond college. It can go all the way through their lifetime. It can be a retirement pension plan that you set up. It can do so much, Julie. It's like a Swiss Army knife.
So do you have an age limit? Like, for example, like I said, we didn't know this growing up, and my oldest is 24. Do you have an age limit where you say it's not even worth it? Don't do it.
Absolutely not. Didn't I tell you
Okay.
my strength? Because I'm telling you, the earlier they start to save, the better. So imagine this: if we teach our children to save $100, that's it. $100. My son is doing $10 a day. He's doing $300 a month because
Okay.
it's good money. And he's like, okay, mom, I'm going to spend this on some shoes I don't need, on some, all of these things. But I told him, I say, son, listen to mom. Take this money, invest it in this account that's giving about 8%. And in 30 years, I may no longer be here, but you're going to be close to a millionaire.
Yeah.
It's worth it. Like even if
Right.
you
Yeah. You're
start
right.
with
You're
$100
right.
a month, Julia, do you realize in 18 years, even if you stop contributing, that they can hit $1 million by the time they get to the retirement age?
Yeah.
And
I
just
believe
imagine
it.
those parents, or, it's those parents that, we have holidays, what Christmas coming up. We have
Yeah.
all these things. We buy all of these toys and stuff. Like my kids don't play with this long, they breaks up. But just imagine if you tell that godparent, that grandparent, look, give me $25. That's just give me $25 a month. And let's put $100 and save for their future. And
Mm-hmm.
show them what that can yield. It's crazy. And that's how we can stop this poverty cycle. That's how, because if we can start it early and set them up and also teach them the knowledge. So when they do get
Right.
it, that they know how to apply it, man, this world is
Right. So is there alternative for those that say, okay, for whatever reason, I'm just throwing it out there because I know people may say, well, I ain't got $25 or I ain't got $100, but we
yes.
do have options for something smaller, but it's still in the same arena. You may not be $1 million, or you may not when they get retirement or what we say, but they will have something. So I just, I want to just kind of elaborate for people that don't think they can afford it, that they can. Like, it's something for everybody and they all kind of follow the same plan, but one may not have as much as everyone. But this baby than this one, but
Yes.
they're gonna have something. So can we elaborate on the different things that we can do?
Yes, absolutely. So what we want to do is schedule a one-on-one and we can customize something that's, suitable and affordable for you. You don't have to do $100. If you can do
Right.
50, if you can do 25, say good information. I just started mine. Okay. No age limit. That's
No
why
age limit.
none whatsoever, right? Like I said, there is no age limit. So whatever is suitable and affordable, we're going to sit down with you and do what's called your financial needs analysis. Go through. We're going to help you with the budget. And
Okay.
yes, so we talk about a budget, making sure you understand, look, 50% goes to your needs, 30% can go to your wants, but 20 should be going towards your future investments or your debt. And we sit down with you and we walk it through, because I sit down with people and they say, I don't have nothing at the end of the month. Then when I look at the budget and pull back the layers, I say, okay, you paying $100 for all these streaming channels. Okay,
Mm.
cable, you're paying $200 for. So, it's just basically identifying what is the difference in a need and a want. And that's very important to understand, that the necessities are non-negotiables, but the
Right.
wants, you have to bend some of those. If you want to make changes, some of the things are going to be very uncomfortable. Like, we
Right.
may not be able to take that Disney trip and go stun on Instagram, because we're going to knock this money out and put it towards debt, or we're going to save for our future. And
Right.
in 10 years, guess what? We can pay for it cash, because now we started with the assets and we let the assets fund our liabilities.
Right. Right. And so I always tell my friends, I be like, y'all know we eat that when we go sit down at the table. Because
Big
we
time,
like
big
nice
time.
places now. So we eat $100, $200 at dinner.
Easily.
So there's no excuse. It's
None
not an excuse.
whatsoever.
And I know a lot of people don't do that. Oh, now you want to come back? Because you got to
They're
put the
gonna
dog. You
be
want
excited,
to,
baby. Yeah.
you want to come back? We
You're
know.
so right,
We
Julia,
know.
because it's about priority. When you can
Yeah.
talk to somebody when they say, I don't have any money to save. Well, we
Right.
just saw them at their Beyonce concert or that Chris Brown.
Exactly, exactly. So I didn't want to have no excuses for him. So I was like, let me get this started now.
So
Now.
yeah,
So he can start that for us. So
oh,
I'm
so
excited about it.
beautiful.
I'm excited what it's
Absolutely.
doing. I mean, he don't, like I keep on saying, he don't know yet, but
He
he
doesn't.
gonna thank me in the long run.
He will. And that's what it's about. Getting this
He gonna thank
information out.
me in the
And I'm
long
so
run.
happy and glad about your channel, that you're bringing this to the community, because there are people that out there and say, what can I do? But they just don't know. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. So now
Right.
you can't say, I don't know anymore. Now it's
Right.
up to you to take that step and make that
Right.
decision, because you can get all the information, but if you don't apply it, what good is it going to do? So one thing, like you said, when you change your mindset, everything
Hmm.
else will follow. That comes from your money, that comes from everything.
Right.
And that's what it's about, understanding that in order to
Right.
get ahead, in order to get out of debt, in order to build wealth, the
Exactly.
mindset has to
Mindset.
shift.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. It's
That's
big.
absolutely
It's big in everything you do, and that's why I say like it's like having faith. Shifting your mindset is
yes.
like having that faith. You got to step out on faith, and you just got to do it. You got to want it, and you
That's
got to do it. And then it'll come. Like I'm on my kids like all the
yes.
time. Like what you doing? What you doing when things happen. So this is helpful. This is like
And the earlier the
education,
better, because yes,
right?
also, and now let's think of this. So you have a 24 or 25-year-old. Say you have a
Hmm.
25-year-old and they're putting away $100. And they continue to do that. And when they get to 65, they have $1 million. But now look at
Exactly.
this. If someone waits, procrastinate 10 years later, 35, do the exact same thing, they only end up with $300,000. Those
Exactly.
10 years cost them over $700,000. So that's what caused us to not be able to build wealth, because we continue to put off and procrastinate. And the longer we wait, the more detrimental it is. Like the same exact strategy, but 10 years later cost them $700,000.
Exactly. Exactly. And like I said, we just lack the knowledge, and I don't think people want to sit and get educated when they hear, oh, you got an appointment. They be like, oh, I don't want to sit through another one. I'm guilty of that. I've been guilty of that. But when you do, you just
You're
gain
so busy.
so
I don't
much.
have time. I don't have time. I don't
Yeah.
have time.
Yeah.
But
But
when
you just
something
gain
happens or
so
when we get in the
much.
bind, they be like, ooh, I
Yeah.
got to call.
Yeah, and I'm like, our kids, and our babies deserve it. Like I'm super excited about it. And like I said, I always talk
Yes.
about it. I'm like, did you know this? Like, yeah, I always talk about it, and they're like, well, help me, and I'll be like, I don't have time. But I got to get out of that mindset. I got to start really helping because we need it.
Yes,
We need it. Like I said, we didn't have this
we need
growing
it.
up. We didn't know this growing up. So we definitely got to get in the mindset of just helping and, making more babies come become millionaires. Not having them, but just making sure that when the ones that are here, that they're set up, we're set up for the future. We look at a lot of different other people and we try to figure out, you had a silver spoon in your mouth. No, my parents did something for me that the other ones didn't. So that's the goal. That is truly the
Absolutely.
goal, moving
And
forward.
that's the goal, and it's each one teach one, and that's what it is. Because when I first got into this, I was very selfish. I said, "Okay, I need answers for myself. I need to do this for
Yeah,
myself." But then God opened up my eyes and said, "It's so much bigger than you. Now that you
exactly.
know it, how many can you go reach back? You can reach and help." And that's I always say that everywhere I go, and I always pray is God, let me be a good steward over what you've given me here
Oh
on
yeah,
this
that's
earth.
good.
That's my time, my talents, and my treasures. So the knowledge
Yes.
that I have, I want to pour it on to someone else. I don't want to keep it to myself. I want them to know that, yes, I can give you this. I have this to share
Yeah.
with you. If you're receptive, because he that has an ear, let him hear. But it's also
Yes.
the ones that want the information. I'm not throwing up on somebody that don't want to hear it.
Right.
But if you want to know, or if you want to make a change in your life, you make that decision today. Your life can look totally different 6 months from now, a year from now,
Exactly.
the next 5 years from now. But you just have to make that decision that
Right.
enough is enough.
Right. Like you was just talking, I was like, oh, this is a ministry in itself.
Oh my God, don't get me to preaching in here.
This is a ministry in
I
itself,
love me
really,
some. When you talk about the mind, I'm like, okay, be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Yes.
I want to take it to church, and I
Yeah. It's all right because that's what it
yes,
is. It's just people don't look at it like that, but when you're helping people and you're helping people gain something and be something, it just it makes you feel good. You're still doing the work. It may not be what everybody else is doing, but this is still considered a ministry, and I love it. I love it.
yes,
Um,
I love it too. So we're gonna part two because I have to show the video next time
I know. I
and
definitely we
understand where
definitely
these
need to.
programs at. Like 'cause some of them, like when you find out one of them, it's gonna blow your mind. You're gonna be like, "Whoa, I never knew
Yeah.
that." So stay
So
tuned.
So look, since we have you, we talked about the $1 million baby and we talked about generational, for our children and
Yes,
even though with no age limit at all.
none.
Since I have you, can we kind of dig into other options we may have for us as adults, that could so we can support our kids to make sure they're set up.
Absolutely. So definitely you want to get with Miss Julia because now that we are mentoring in this space. So not only have I been in this space 9 years, now I can bring someone in and say, let me educate you. Let me show
Mhm.
you how you can get this information. You can be that money go-to person. You can be the one that your family seeks for financial advice. So not only am I giving you the tools, I'm also giving you the mentorship in order to show you and set yourself up. Because you know what they say, what you teach, you give them a fish, they're gonna eat for a day. But if you
Mm,
teach them how to fish, they'll eat for a lifetime.
come on.
So if we have problems with saying, I don't have the money or I don't have enough, let's talk about other ways that you can generate income. Because maybe your income is not enough. Maybe you need to do a side hustle, find something you're good at,
Right.
a profession. Now you can have the funds that you need in order for those investments and those saving strategies and so forth.
Okay. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I appreciate the knowledge. We appreciate the knowledge, and
Absolutely.
I know I keep bringing you back in because I want to know. Look, I want to know, and I should not want to know this stuff. I should
Yes,
already know it. So I know we get like we were talking. We were saying, okay, we can do a $25 a month, $100 a month. Is there an option to where we can do more? Like, is there a max to where we can't? So what are the stipulations on that? Because
absolutely.
we know they gain interest, and things like that. But what is the max? Can we overly fund this? Can we put
Absolutely.
things in there for our kids that we have extra that flows in? Is this something that we can do with these type of this $1 million baby? Is this something that we can utilize?
Absolutely. That plan is specifically designed. So when you sit down and schedule a one-on-one, we're going to customize something for you. hey, if you have a lump sum, this is a great place to dump it in because guess what? It's compounding over time. That's a great thing. You can have access to the money if you need it, and you don't have to worry about losing your money. So if you're getting somewhere, so you may want to consider putting more in because the more you money you put in, the more it'll compound over time. And
Right.
you just think of those two factors. It works with two things, money and
Mm-hmm.
time. So the more time that you have and the more money you put in, the greater the nest egg will be in the back end.
Right. And like we talk about putting money in there and it becoming like a savings. So is our money safe?
Absolutely. One of the safest places ever. Like I said, you don't have to worry about your money being lost. So yes, it's very safe. You can have access to it if you need to tap into it. We have life be life. And so sometimes,
Yeah.
we have hardships. That's somewhere that you can go in and say, okay, I may need to tap into it for a little bit. So yes,
Mm-hmm.
it's very safe. And
Okay.
there's many different programs out there. And that's why I was like, we're gonna come back because I'm gonna have to have the video.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But if you're
Look.
interested in the $1 million baby, make sure you join the workshop. So Julia, you're gonna have to post the flyer up.
Yes, I
Those that are
will.
just like, I want more, I need to know more of this. Or if you cannot wait, call Julia and schedule a one-on-one and say, okay, let's sit down and talk about this.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because I want people to know this information. I want to be able to give it to them. But like I said, I think we lack it. We're scared of it because when we talk about it, and because it's considered what a policy. It's considered a life insurance policy. So nobody wants to talk about that.
No.
So so
Nobody knows yet because a lot of
yeah.
people are it's so many myths that we have to debunk. Because when I
Mm.
started financial literacy, understanding that life insurance was very important. That's a foundation of financial literacy, right? Because if you can't protect your income with the right things, you can't build wealth.
Mm.
You can't get out of debt. If you cannot protect your income, it's nothing else that's going to happen. Oh, wow. Oh my God. That's a double overtime, right? But yes, understanding. I'm glad you said that because that's where it really started for me.
Yeah.
Understanding and debunking so many things. Like a lot of people, when they hear life insurance, they only think death, burial. That's it.
That's it.
Death,
Yeah.
burial. That's it. And a lot of people still don't have it. I don't know why, but they don't have it.
I know. I know. And I'm just like
Life
you.
insurance is so much more. It has evolved so much. Just like these phones that you remember we only can use pick up and talk on. Now we
Yep.
can run a presentation. We can run a
You're
meeting.
right.
We can talk. We can do everything with these phones. Guess what? Life insurance has evolved just like these phones. So do
Mm.
not discredit or think of that life insurance is only for that.
Yeah,
It's
because
so
I
many
grew
other.
up only knowing about term policies. You know,
That's a whole nother look. That's a whole nother discussion.
that's all. I never knew about nothing else. That was all I had heard growing up, and I was like, "That's all. That's all you gonna
What
get."
my Gerber, what's called Gerber babies?
Yeah,
Everybody
or
knows the
Gerber baby. I
Gerber
had my kids on the
babies,
Gerber baby. I was like, "All right."
the globe,
But you see, okay, you got me. Not knowing, like
yes,
just thinking I'm doing something, and I wasn't doing nothing at all. It
at
was
all. Man,
at
Julie,
all.
I just reviewed one. So if you have any type of policies or anything that you need Julia to review financial wise, definitely get with her. I just had a client in review. They was like, "Oh, I've been having my baby on this Gerber plan since they were born. Now they're 20. Do you realize how much cash value they had in there? Not even $2,000."
What?
Because we don't know. They
That's
think
why I
we
thought I
only
was
do
doing
the
something. I'm
best
not
with
gonna lie. I
what
was
we're
like,
able to do the
here's my
best
little
with.
premium.
But if we don't
Yeah.
seek out the information or if we close our ears to opportunities where we're giving
Mm,
free knowledge, like we don't even charge for this, like just come
that's
and learn
true.
so you can do
Yeah.
so much better with what you have because you may think, oh, I got this and I'm good and I've got this. But what if you don't know about something else?
Right.
How can you say you have the best thing if you have not even learned about any alternatives? But it
Right.
was so crazy when I looked at that. I said, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I said, how much of this can you use for them to go to college? You only
Yeah.
have like
Look,
less than
I'm
2,000.
guilty of that Gerber baby. Like I said, I thought I was doing some. I was a young mom. Like, give my baby this Gerber baby because baby on the front. I'm like, yep, that's what it is, and didn't
That's
know no better.
it.
It took me all these years.
It's
to
okay.
find out about this,
You got it now, though. See what I'm saying? Because you were open to listen and learn. So that's the good thing. And that's what it's about. We have to get the knowledge. We perish not for lack of money. We perish for the
Mm,
lack of knowledge.
that's right. That's right. And I think as people get it, as people, I think it's with the changes that are going on economy, everything that's going on in the world, really, I think people are finally saying, okay, it's time. Those that really want to change, those who really want to find out, I think people are actually sitting down saying, okay, what's next? How do we
Yes.
do this? And then we're not getting any younger, and people are dying younger these days, so we're not able to even be able to help them. So like I said, this is passion,
Yes.
for sure, you know.
Absolutely.
And I know if
Absolutely.
I can't get to you, I have somebody that's going to get to you, because this is something that just cannot go without being talked about.
Yes.
It has to be talked about, and like you said, we're gonna need a part two, because it's so much more
Oh,
within. Like, even on the FNAs, I think people run from that because, oh, you want to be in my financial business? Yeah,
yes.
we're in your business. Uh,
Yeah, I'm the nurse, right? So I asked people, I said, would you walk into the doctor office and would he just say, okay, here, you need to go take this hydrocodone? No, you have to do an assessment. That's the same thing with your financial. If we can't look at the
Exactly.
financial picture, how can we give a possible recommendation if we don't uncover and unveil and look at the entire picture? When you go to the doctor, you have to look at what are the signs and symptoms that you have. You have to
Mm-hmm.
do a test. It's the same thing. And it's non-judgmental. Like everything that we
Right.
discuss is confidential. That's
Right.
what you have to understand. But if you want the help, you're gonna seek out and get it because, like you said, it's getting real in these streets. And
Right.
most people think that they can just continue to work and it's going to figure itself out. It will not. You have
Right.
to make that decision and said, okay, I need to make sure I have a plan in place for this, for my children, for this. They want to go to college. How much are they looking at? They have to have these things in place. And there's
Right.
many ways that you can actually do that, but you just have to sit down with someone and discuss it.
So let me ask you this before we run out of time. Are there
Right.
any type of stipulations um that you can I know everything is a case by case
Yes.
basis.
It's
But are there any stipulations that we just can't get past? Is there anything that you will say no to, not just medically but overall, as far as getting their baby signed up for this? Because even themselves, is there anything that you would just push back and say no?
well, yeah, you do have to make sure. So when you're talking about insurance products, insurability is a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, health issues plays a major factor. And
Mm-hmm.
if they have any type of health conditions, but there are other things that you can do. So don't say no because we're going to find, okay, they may not qualify for this, but hey, we can start this for them. So
Right.
it's not just like you can't get this, that's it. It's not cookie cutter. So everyone may not be a good fit for one program, but we have multiple programs that we can utilize and said, okay, even if they don't qualify for this, we can save in this vehicle for them,
Okay. Okay.
utilize something else. So
Yeah.
that's important. And that's why it's important to just sit down and have a conversation so we can decide and let you know what is best for you, what's suitable and affordable to help you reach your goals and what you need to do.
Okay. Okay. That's
Okay.
good to know. Yeah. I just like to ask, because
Yes.
people have the questions, but they won't ask the questions.
Yes.
But it's all, I think the most important thing about this, I
But
know, I
any
know it's,
questions or anything in the,
go ahead. I know it's big. The
I'm
million
not sure
dollar
how to
baby is big, that's big. That's
yes.
a big thing. But the most important thing is just, to have them covered, covered with something,
It's
at the end of the
catchy.
day.
It's very catchy. Million Dollar Baby. You know when that song came out,
Yeah.
everybody was playing it, $1 million Baby, and that's where it came from because okay,
Yeah. Yeah. He even
it's
got his
it's
own theme song.
but it's real. It's catchy, but it's real. And the
It
number shows
is.
it's real and it's achievable if you actually put a plan in place.
It is definitely. It is achievable. Yeah, I thought about that song too. I think I had played it this morning with the thing. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I play
But
with mine. Like when y'all come to my workshop, that's what's playing in the background because Everybody can relate to. They love that song. That little song went viral.
So the workshops, while we winding down the workshop, they're just on Zoom, right? They're not in
Yeah,
person.
they're in Zoom, but if they
Okay.
someone would like to have an in-person one, I'm not object to coming out and doing
Okay.
that. But yeah, for the sake of it, I still work full time as run like a private practice with my nursing. So
Okay.
Zoom works for me.
Okay. Okay.
But if there's a group of people, or if anyone wants to have any more details, or they want to do just a circle group with their family or friends, oh yes, we can actually come out to you.
Okay. Okay. I love it. I like to have me a good old event. You know me.
With the food, yes, okay, okay.
I like me to have me an event to bring people out and people come and I'm just like, y'all know y'all not just gonna eat. Y'all gonna get this information. That's what
And
we're
it's good
doing.
because we're gonna get some value. They gonna get some
We
knowledge. They
gonna
gonna
get some
get
information. Yeah. You gotta leave when you messing with me, you're gonna leave with something. I just cannot let you leave without nothing. You're gonna leave with something. Is there something else that you can kind of tell us, give us some last minute advice, how to prepare? How do we prepare? What information is warranted to even know? What documentation do we need to get together? What information do we need to have to even sit down? Um, Even
with
for the FNA, the financial analysis, what other information do we need to have on our children so we can kind of put that packet together before we even reach out?
Okay. So it really is not a lot. Our children, they don't have a lot of assets, so we
Mhm.
want to make sure what is your household assets. If you have like retirements, investments, savings, we definitely want to kind of look at what you actually have, because the child
Right.
is likely a dependent. So they really don't have any of that. It's dependent upon the parent. But
Right.
all you have to do is schedule a call. Call Julie and say, girl, let's sit down and talk. Okay, I need to know this and this. So that's how we can have a conversation.
Right.
Non-judgmental, non-formal. We're just going to have a conversation where you can be honest and transparent and said, okay, this is my concerns. This is how do I do it. So let's get real. Let's get candid.
Yeah.
And let's just let down the guards. And that's all it is. It's just starting with a conversation.
Okay. I love that. I love that. Something informal, but also
Yes,
getting you everything you need. So I do love that fact for sure. So I
absolutely.
appreciate you. Like you said, we
Absolutely.
do need a number two. We will have a number two. We're gonna get some
Yes.
of these $1 million babies going for sure. Whatever you have that you can share with me, please email me. Email it
Absolutely.
over to me. I will share it with everyone, so they can kind of educate themselves before reaching out. Because, like I said, knowledge is everything. When we come to this platform, we want to just educate. We want to build. This is like building an empire. I always said I'm building an empire, but I don't have to do it by myself. God gave me this to share. He gave to connect. So I'm
Yes.
not stingy or I'm not gatekeeping from anything when it comes to this type of knowledge. So please share it with me. I'll share with everyone as I can. We'll get the links out. We'll get in contact, like I said, with myself or you, Miss Kimberly. We'll set something up. If we have to do it in person, I love the fact that you're gonna come out. I'm
Yes.
throwing you
As long
out
as you
there.
feed me. If you feed me, I'm
I'm
there,
going
okay?
I'm gonna feed you. That's one thing I will do. I will feed you at an event. I'm good for that.
Okay.
So
So
I'm
yeah,
looking
it's been
forward
a
to
pleasure.
it.
And I want to say congratulations to you. What you're
Thank
doing in the
you.
community is big, and
Thank
continue
you.
to do this. It's much needed. It's bringing so much value, and I'm so happy for you. So
Thank you
congratulations.
so much.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having
Thank
me
you.
on, y'all.
Yes, join
Let
us.
me know
We'll
if you
be
want
on
to do
here
part
every
two. Just let me
Thursday.
know, okay?
Yes, I will. Thank you for joining. Have a good evening.
Absolutely. You have a good day.
All right, we almost rounding down to our time in the $1 million baby. That was it. So if you are ready to get started, let's get you started. Let's get you educated. Something you may not ask, we want you to ask those questions. Just be transparent. Let's get your babies. Let's set up this generational wealth for our babies, including ourselves. Like you said, no age limit whatsoever. So we don't want to hinder that. We don't want to make that an excuse. There are no excuses when you're talking to me already. So let's just make that perfectly clear. You give me something, I'm gonna tell you how to fix it. That's just the way we do around here. So next week, I'm looking forward to it. This is another episode that's gonna come. It's gonna talk about finances and relationships. I will have a guest coming on with me to talk about this, maybe even two. We'll see. But we're talking about finances and relationships, what we should buy together, what we shouldn't buy together. So make sure you tune in next week at 7 o'clock. right here on the Culture Network with your host, Julia Williams, Wealth Within Reach. And we are in reach of everything. So just be mindful of that. Change the mindset and you can get there. So I look forward to seeing you all next week right here, Culture Network at 7 p.m. Have a good evening.